Black Sheriff is Artist of the Year. But the critical question is this. We've known that music has served as trigger for development in other countries. Can we use this to serve as the trigger for the development of the music industry in Ghana? We've had these conversations. We have talked about how, Black Sheriff winning big on international stage, doing lots of collaborations. But now that he's won, how can we use this to promote Ghana music? But what's the whole assessment of the VGMA? What was your assessment? Were you excited with the performance of the host, to the artists who performed on the night, and even the awards? Are you satisfied with who won what and who did not win? We'll get into all of those conversations shortly. But first, let me also tell you that this morning we're having a conversation about the rage against illicit drug trafficking and abuse. Some persons have decided to make it their business to actually campaign against illicit drug trafficking and abuse. And they've joined us in studio. I'll be introducing them shortly. They'll be telling us why they're doing this, and they'll tell us why it's important for you to also support them. But first, I have a question for you. What's exciting, delicious, creamy, and rich with vitamins, minerals, and has the goodness of cocoa all at the same time? And I'm sure you can guess what it is. It's the brand new Niche chocolate drink made with Ghana's finest wholesome cocoa. Niche chocolate is full of delicious goodness. Niche chocolate drink comes in 250 ml bottle and 180 ml Tetra Pak so that you can enjoy it big or small. It's great for all members of the family. Visit a shop near you to get yours, and I know that you would love it. Niche Taste of Ghana, available nationwide in malls, Melcom, ShopRite, Petromats. Wholesale contact 0244 824216 or 0244 371818. So this morning, we're joined by His Royal Majesty, as Dr. Ambassador Chukwudi Inetu, who is Paramount King of Igbo People, Ghana, and Ambassador for Rage Against Illicit Drug Trafficking and Abuse. And we're also joined by Reverend Tony White, who is Project Director of the campaign Izebo Ghana Foundation. Good morning, Reverend White, and good morning, His Royal Majesty, Dr. Ambassador Chukwudi Inetu. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you,
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. Great to see you again.
Thank you, my brother. It's been a long time.
Yes.
3 years ago now.
Yes. You are looking great as always.
Thank you.
Hope everything is fine.
All is well.
And your Paramount Kingship is going well.
With too much of stress.
Oh, really? I thought it was, it was a sight serving society and the community.
It's not easy. Serving human beings is one of the most difficult, services you can ever think about. It's not easy. Yes, it's not easy. But we thank God for everything, for the strength.
Most definitely. So tell me, why did you decide to embark on, this campaign against illicit drug trafficking and abuse, and what is it that you seek to achieve?
We need to change and help the life of our people. Reasons, if you look around the world today, both in internet and physical things, you can see the young ones are engaging a lot in intake of drugs, abusing drugs. Now, there are a lot of drugs, not just only cocaine, ordinary codeine that people take for cough, tramadol that people take for in sicknesses and all that. People are abusing it in replacement of drugs and the whole lot. Now, you see young people that are doing well before. At a time, you see them not doing well anymore. You see them changing. You see them deteriorating. Questions are, what happened to his business? What is wrong with this guy? Then you find out that these people, they're not engaged in drug intake and stuff like that. Why? To make you to waste money. To people also dying. People also getting mad along the street. If you go to most of the psychiatric homes and the rehabilitation homes, you see young people that are engaged in this kind of drug. And these young people are supposed to be the leaders of tomorrow. They're supposed to be, powerful entrepreneurs somewhere there. It might not only be in Ghana, but somewhere around the world, and they will also be part of the rulers of the world. But because of the engagement in all these situations, that their life is not doing well. So if these things are happening now, in presence of you and I, what about tomorrow? What about the next generation? So we're embarking on this. As a leader, a lot of people come to me looking for help, looking for just for daily bread. But when you look at their past, they were doing well before. So what's the problem now? And people also come along the street, the beggars along the street. When you even see their mouth, you can even see that these people, the money you're dashing them is just a waste of money. They still use the money to put themselves somewhere there. So we now said, no, we need to put a stop to this. How can we stop this? We have to campaign about it. We need to talk about it. We want you and I to hear it. We want every parent to hear us that you need to monitor your children. You need to monitor your friends around. You need to see when their lives are changing, when they are doing things that is abnormal, then ask questions to them and know the best way. So such campaign is not just we doing it, but you and I should do it so that generation will change.
And talking about all of us, doing this, you started by talking about people who are doing well. Clearly, an indication that it also affects the economy, because these are people who are doing well.
That's right.
And now they start doing badly and they become a burden on others. How does drug trafficking and abuse affect the economy?
It affects the economy because you and I know that we need people with sound mind to work. We need people with sound mind. As you are here, if your mind is not sound, you're not going to work.
Sure.
And such a wonderful, powerful media company to employ you because they know you are sound. So you are important. If people are engaged in things like this, they cannot deliver. They cannot work. They cannot change situation. Okay, so it's affecting the nation, it's affecting the entire world because we need them. We need the young ones, we need the older ones for we to get things done and change the world. So if they are engaged in drug intake, they cannot deliver. They cannot get things right. They cannot even manage their family. They cannot even help people around them. They cannot even advise people when people are getting wrong. But when their mind is sound and well focused, then they become a blessing to the nation.
Great, but do you think that the state has enough resources, manpower, and the will to combat this menace?
The resources might not just be money, but resources are putting measures together. How do we put measures together? We have drug enforcement agency, we have police, we have customs in our entrance, maybe at the airport, point of entry in Ghana. They should do the best they can to monitor those coming in and those going out. And the drug enforcement agency should also go out there to, many a times, it's always good to tackle the root. The root of the importation of all these things, if you don't tackle it, it's also another problem. But those that brings them in, they're bringing those things in for people to take it. If they did not bring it in, people will not take it. So the state can do it. It doesn't mean that the resources must be money. Why are we paying civil servants? Why are we paying law enforcement agencies? Why do we have borders and why do we have airports? So it's easy for them to manage that. It doesn't mean that the state must now map out millions of cities just for this, because the security agencies are already working, serving the nation. So while they are working, serving the nation, they should make sure that the intelligence works so more quicker, more faster, and go down deep and look at all these things. It doesn't mean that the state must map out millions to run this, because they're already in payroll of the nation.
Reverend White, I mean, listening to His Royal Majesty, he talks about the fact that they bring this in and so they abuse it. So it's like drug trafficking is as bad as drug abuse, isn't it?
That's right. If there are no traffickers, then the abuse will reduce to some limit. Of course, there are certain drugs. I mean, especially the challenges we're having now with what we call recreational drugs that people get high on. Some of them they are produced locally, but yes, if there are no traffickers, the abuse will reduce, because when there are people bringing in these supplies, that means there's a demand. So yes, if there's a reduction in trafficking, there will be a reduction in the abuse of these drugs.
Talking about reduction in trafficking and reduction in abuse, just a bit of a question. So why do you both think, for instance, that people, especially the young ones these days, get involved in drug trafficking and abuse?
One, because of wrong friendship. Two, because of them thinking that I can't do anything without being high. I need to have something extraordinary in me for me to be able to work, and that is wrong. You know, friends corrupt friends. Iron sharpness iron. If you engage with corrupt friends, they will surely corrupt you and let you do what they are doing. Like I keep saying, my brother, you are doing very well. I've known you for a couple of years now, and you are here, and that means you are doing more better. Yeah. So if people around you are seeing the good job you are doing, they want to be like you, they want to talk like you, they want to dress like you, they want to do good things that you are doing. So if you're also a bad person, people around you will also be influenced with your character. So the young people are engaging a lot with wrong friends. Young people are engaging a lot with wrong ideas, thinking that if I don't get this thing done, I will not get it the other way around. When we came here, he talked about musicians and all that. Many musicians will tell you, if I don't get high, I cannot be on stage. That is nonsense. When you are not high, you even do better on the stage. But when you are high, you can misbehave. You can even miss your track.
Sure.
Okay, so that information that the young ones have within around them, that if I'm not high, I will not get things done. So these are areas that are attracting them into these intake of drugs, thinking that is the best way. No, it's not the best way.
So we have the peer pressure. You know, I'm doing it because my friends do it. I mean, I was with a friend yesterday, and she said, I like to do shisha. So it starts from there, and this is somebody who is in the university, and I'm like, I don't even know what this is. I mean, I don't have that experience. So it's peer pressure because she believes her friends does it and it makes them feel good. And this is also the other side of it. The flip side is the social media. I mean, you go on social media, you can actually get anything you can, and that's how it starts with some of them. Try this, it will make you feel this. Try this, it will make you feel better, it may relax you, and before you know it, you begin to abuse these substances.
Reverend White, so I mean, talking about before you know it, you begin to abuse. So what are some of the effects that drug trafficking and abuse would have on the youth?
On the youth, it's like what His Majesty said. The youth are the future leaders of tomorrow. And imagine if the state spends its resources on rehabilitating, instead of spending its resources to bring up the youth, to educate the youth. So is that we have youth who are not able to think for themselves. We have youth who are not prepared for leadership tomorrow. We will have youth who cannot be able to compete in the commonwealth of nations because their minds and their brains are already abused. So we will not have youth who will take over from us. Even in the church state, in ministry, even in leadership, tomorrow we'll need to have another paramount king of the Igbo people. Imagine if all the people or some of the people who are eligible are already drug abusers. So we will not have youths who will be able to take our nation beyond where we are.
Okay. Well, this one we're joined by Reverend Tony White, who is project director of the campaign Izebo Ghana Foundation, and His Royal Majesty Eze Dr. Ambassador Chukwudi Inetu, who is Paramount King of Igbo People Ghana, and Ambassador for RAIDT against illicit drug trafficking and abuse. So, look, we know there are all kinds of illicit drugs. How do you think you can win this battle? Can the battle be won?
Yes, we can. Like I said earlier on, our borders is very important. That there must be protection of our borders. Number two, information is very important. If you know friends or people around that are engaged in this kind of substance, when you give information to the authority, when authority get them busted, that will help to reduce this. Number two, campaign over it. When you talk to people that engage in such intake and let them know that you are destroying yourself, what you are doing is not the best, what you are doing will not make you to become great in future, then you cancel them. Number three, we also need to make sure that we engage with the rehabilitation area centers, where when we see people like this, we'll be able to bundle them, we'll be able to talk to them and take them to rehabilitation centers for them to be rehabilitated and get out of that situation. We can battle it, we can do it. Parents also should wake up and talk to their children. When you see the misbehavior of your children, or you see how your children are not doing, even your husband, even your wife, like we said, friends can put into all these situations. So we can battle it, we can stop it, but not they can stop it 100%. It's not possible. But you can reduce it by communication and by campaigning. This campaign is it's not only I and Reverend Tony, but for you, for me, for our parents, and even church leaders.
Okay. Reverend Tony, finally, your final comments.
Well, this campaign started last month. At the end of this month, on the 27th of May, we are embarking on a walk from the Nima roundabout to Circle. We will enjoin people to join us to say no to drug abuse, to illicit drug trafficking. Beyond this, we also say if you know somebody who is going through this challenge, we have a phone number. I want you to reach out to us and see how we can help. Because like we say, the youth are the future leaders of tomorrow. So please, if you know somebody who has this challenge, you know somebody who's going through this turbulence, kindly reach us on the phone number 0271 844 958. I repeat that, 0271 844 958. And then join us on the 27th of May at the Nima roundabout. And let's say no to drugs. Let's reach to other young people and say no. Your future is important.
Is it finally?
Finally, you parents, you guardians, you pastor, you reverend father, you teacher in a school, you radio presenter, TV presenter, anywhere you are a leader, you are a commander, you are a man that will bring change to the nation or to the entire continent of Africa by talking to our young people for them not to engage in intake of drugs, and for you also to talk to those that are not in good state of their mind to go for rehabilitation, or also to go to psychiatric hospital and get themselves changed. And also, if you are a drug trafficker, remember that what you are doing, you are destroying the nation. Your own children might even take the drug somewhere. You might think that you are making money, you are importing drugs, you are making money. The drugs you bring in, maybe in Nigeria, maybe in Ghana, might be in market in Abidjan. Your son might be in school, your daughter might be in school, and they will engage in that. So you are destroying your own children with that money you think you are making. So I would advise you to stop it. It's not the best way. Engage yourself in business that will be a blessing to mankind, not to destroy the people. So this campaign is for you and I to move it forward for the change of the entire world. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Of course, we all have a role to play. You're a change maker. See yourself as that change maker. Get out into the world now and cause that change. Thank you very much. Reverend Tony White, who is Project Director of the campaign Izebu Ghana Foundation, and His Royal Majesty is a Dr. Ambassador Chukwudi Inetu, who is Paramount King of the Igbo people, Ghana, and Ambassador for RAIDT against illicit drug trafficking and abuse. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Joy 99.7